everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host, Sean McGahee. In this show, we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. You can listen to Dayspring Discussions on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, and Patreon, and contact Dayspring Discussions on the Facebook group, Twitter account, and dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Well, happy Tuesday, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. It was Easter weekend. Me and my wife took our daughter to Six Flags. That's right. This will be our third year as Six Flags season pass holders. And I got to tell you, it's so awesome. I love going a couple times a month to Six Flags to ride the rides. My wife and I are big roller coaster people, so we're trying to get my daughter into theme parks and rides and build up her tolerance for the fun rides. I will say Six Flags, when I was a kid, the closest one was St. Louis. And I went, I believe it was my junior or senior high school I went. And one thing I noticed from now to then is that Six Flags was all about the Looney Tunes, it's Warner Brothers, and then they had a few superhero things. Completely flipped now. Now that superheroes are kind of in, all the rides are superhero themed. You see a little bit of Looney Tunes in there, which kind of does make me sad because I miss my Looney Tunes. But it's all superhero themed. And as a guy, of course, who loves superheroes, I love it. I always got to go to the superhero store every time we go just to see what's there. Last year was fun because at the beginning of the summer, they had a few Wonder Woman things. And then by the end of the summer, after the Wonder Woman movie had come out and was a success, you saw a bunch of Wonder Woman merchandise at the superhero store. I was very surprised. I walked in on Sunday, and they actually have some Aquaman stuff, which I didn't see at all in the last couple of years. Maybe they're preparing for the movie. Maybe Aquaman's become more popular after Justice League. I don't know, but it warms my heart to see more Aquaman in there. I am hoping that maybe they get some more Teen Titans Go stuff as the movie's coming out in July. But we'll wait and see, guys. But that is one of the reasons why I did not get to do a Ready Player One review on Sunday. My wife and I were going to sit down on Sunday and do a review, but we decided to go to Six Flags instead. Lisa has a lot of thoughts on it. Like I said, she's read the book, and I'm going to share a few of my thoughts now. I know she still wants to go see it again before she shares her thoughts. Maybe we'll do that in the next couple of days, but I'm going to share my thoughts just in case we don't get to that. So, I'm not going to go too spoilery. Ready Player One, based off the book by Ernest Cline. Hopefully you've gone and seen the movie. Me personally, I haven't read the book. I wanted to walk into it with fresh eyes. And I gotta say, I liked it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. There was so much geek references to it all. And anyone who is a pop culture junkie like myself, who grew up in the 80s and 90s, you see all the references. It's just fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Mainly because the main character, Wade, played by Ty Sheridan, he, again, is the everyman, is me, is, anyone who grew up in the 80s and 90s. He has consumed it all to try to win the prize, but we just consume it all because we're geeks and we're dorks and we're weird like that. But I saw myself in that character, and I went on this ride through this virtual world where I was driving the DeLorean, where I was fighting beside the Iron Giant, where I saw Ninja Turtles, which I'll get to in a sec, and it was all just one big fun adventure for a guy like me, so I totally loved it. Mr. Spielberg, of course, has the market cornered on adventure. Now, whether this movie fits into my top 5 Spielberg films, I don't know. I gotta go see it again. I'll probably go see it hopefully again with Lisa when she goes to see it and get a better idea of just how much I like it. I love Wade's character. One thing, I was watching the film and I noticed that he had the Thundercats belt buckle that was silver. I have my Thundercats belt buckle. Thundercats was my favorite cartoon growing up, so that got me. I loved his jacket with the sword on the back. That was so cool. Allegedly, Lisa's saying there is a lot of stuff changed from the book, and with her, she wants to see it again before she really gives her thoughts because she was judging it so much by the book. She wants to go back and judge it just by the film itself, which is what I did. I enjoyed it. I'm hoping she enjoys it more the second time around. Now, some of the changes that she said that were made. First off, they mentioned a couple old movies like War Games and Monty Python in the book. In this one, they switched one of the settings to The Shining. And I was talking to her about how I feel like the reason they did that, the reason they made changes that they did, is to get more references. Now, they still had some stuff for those hardcore, sweaty 80s kids, like Madballs and stuff like that. But they changed stuff so more people who didn't grow up in that era, who are like teenagers now, would still get it. Like, say, for instance, there was the Ninja Turtles in there. In the big battle, I saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Awesome, right? They weren't the 80s Turtles. They weren't the original Turtles. They were the newer version of the crappy movies, the CGI Turtles. Now, I know they did that so that people who, again, are teenagers or around that era would recognize them. Now, I'm sure they would recognize the original Ninja Turtles as well, but I get why they changed that. I get why they changed things so that more people get them. That's what you want to do with a movie. That's why so many movies nowadays are PG-13, to get it to the broadest audience possible to make more money. Understandable. But I enjoyed the film. I thought the humor worked. I thought the characters worked. I want to go see it again. I don't know when. Like I said, Lisa wants to go see it again tonight, maybe. So hopefully we can do that and get a full review out, because I'm sure Lisa's going to have a lot of thoughts on it. When we went and saw it on Friday night, she was lying in bed still talking about it. So hopefully on Thursday I'll get a post up with maybe a full review perhaps, or at least a book lover's review of the film. I will say just one little point before I go. I did think, well, Ben Mendelsohn, good actor, was a little weak in my opinion. That's kind of a drawback of it. Also, I felt like the love story between Wade and, what was her name? Artemis, otherwise known as Samantha, could have used some work too. Highlight, of course, TJ Miller was great as well. But anyway, like I said, we'll get more into it later, hopefully. And you guys fire back. Let me know what you think of the movie. Did you like it? Did you not like it? I know some people on the Facebook group did not like it. But we'll go from there. Okay, guys, so really the only story that I have today that came out towards the tail end of last week is that Colin Trevorrow, who directed and co-wrote Jurassic World back in 2015, will return to helm Jurassic World 3, which is set to come out in 2021. Now, in June, we do have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, or Jurassic World 2, that's coming out. And you still got Chris Pratt coming back. You still got Bryce Dallas Howard coming back. You even get an appearance by Jeff Goldblum in this one as well. That's film set to come out. Now, this one's being directed by J.A. Boyana, which I'm sure I said his last name wrong. I usually do. That's just my thing. I didn't know really who he was, but then I looked him up. And he directed the 2016 film Monster Calls, which was a sad and underrated, wonderful film. But also he directed The Impossible, which that movie, I remember I sat down to watch that film, and Lisa was kind of looking over my shoulder in the dining room. And then by the end of the film, she was entranced in it because it was based on a true story. And that right there, okay, hooked. The fact that he directed those two films gives me hope for Fallen Kingdom. Jurassic Park franchise, you know, I'm kind of iffy on. The first one was so different and new, directed, of course, by Spielberg. Gotta love him. The other two, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But Jurassic World, I think, did something different with the franchise. It wasn't just, hey, people go to the park, they get chased by dinosaurs, they get eaten by dinosaurs. That's the movie. With Jurassic World, you saw the fruition of the park actually come to, and then the problems that ensued by taking the next step in not only bringing back dinosaurs, but creating new dinosaurs as well. And that's what I hope Fallen Kingdom does, is gives it a different angle than what we've seen. From the previews, it looks like they're talking about, you know, conservation of these endangered species. That angle on it, I think, could be interesting. So hopefully, again, it gives me something new or a different angle on this Jurassic franchise. Now, Colin Trevorrow, I think, did a wonderful job on Jurassic World. I'm not head over heels for the film, but I did enjoy it. It was the first Jurassic Park film that I can really say I enjoyed since the first one. So I give Colin Trevorrow partial credit for that, but also I give a lot of credit to Chris Pratt. Very charismatic as a leading guy, and I love almost anything he does. Now, for those of you who remember, Colin Trevorrow, a year or two ago, was set to direct Episode 9 for Lucasfilm and Disney. About maybe 6 months ago, something like that, they announced he wasn't going to do it anymore, and then they brought back J.J. Abrams to complete that trilogy for Star Wars. And that's kind of why he couldn't do, I believe, the second Jurassic World film. People thought he should be doing the second Jurassic World film, but he got committed to do Star Wars, so he couldn't do it, so they got another director. Now that he's not committed to doing Episode 9, I think that's why he's back doing this third Jurassic World film, finishing it out. Hopefully, much like J.J. Abrams, we hope will complete this trilogy of characters. Colin Trevorrow will come back and complete this trilogy of the Jurassic World franchise and wrap it up nicely. I don't think this has any commenting on how the current director, J.A. Boyana, has done Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I don't think it's the studio being like, whoa, we're not too happy with this film, let's bring back Colin Trevorrow. I think the only reason Trevorrow left this franchise was he got offered a better franchise, Star Wars. But now, since he's not doing that anymore, you bring him back, you finish out Jurassic World franchise, and I'm fine with that. I am anxious to see how Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom does. Yeah, I like the franchise. I don't love it. I think Lisa's more of a fan of it than I am, but I don't see it as a bad thing. No one who's a fan of the Jurassic World or Jurassic Park franchise should see this as a bad thing. Alright guys, well that is it. A short, sweet show today. Like I said, Lisa wants to share her thoughts on Ready Player One. Whether we're going to rewatch the movie tonight or the next day or so and get to it, I don't know. In any event, I'm planning to do another show on Thursday. Hopefully I'll have a couple more topics to go through, as well as maybe a few comic book reviews. We'll wait and see, guys. But that's it. Fire back on the social media groups and Gmail account. Let me know your thoughts. Colin Trevorrow back for Jurassic World 3. What do you think? And, of course, share your thoughts on Ready Player One. Give me specifics, too. If you didn't like it, let me know why you didn't like it. If you loved it, let me know what your favorite part was. All that stuff. And I'll be back in a couple days with some more news, guys. Until then, may the Force be with us all.